Hello class, I hope you're doing well this weekend. This is going to be our first sketchbook assignment. I want you to use graphite pencils. You can just use a mechanical pencil. Just a regular pencil. You'll need an eraser and your sketchbook. So what we're going to do in this assignment is you're going to follow along with me. And we're going to do a short exercise on perspective center, using a couple tricks of perspective to divide space as space recedes into the distance in 1 point perspective. Yeah, so let's get started. So if we have, let's just have a square like this, right? This is just a straight up square. Oh, also with this assignment, I just want you to draw freehand. Don't worry about using a ruler. I want you to get used to drawing freehand, pulling straight lines, trial and error. It's all good, okay? So let's say I have this block, right? This is like a squarish rectangle, right? If I wanted to find the center of this square, I could guess, right? Let's say it's there. I can guess, okay, it's there. But if I wanted to know for sure or have a little bit more of an accurate way of getting the center, I would draw a line from this corner to this corner. Right. And then I would draw a line from this corner to this corner. It's got to be a straight line. And I was a little off, pretty close. But right where those two lines cross over and intersect, that is going to be the center, right? Now, if we're drawing a box or a square in perspective, right? It's not this way anymore, it's like this. Let's do that. So this is in 1 point perspective. We do the same thing to get the center. Now, the center of this is not going to be taking this and dividing it in half and figuring that out, because it's going to be a little higher because it's receding into space. So I'm going to go do another line draw a line from here to here. Right? Draw a line from here to here. Same thing. And that gives me the perspective center. Notice how this space right here is a lot longer than this space from here to here. So, but in reality, if we took this and we folded it back up, this would be just like this. It'd be right in the center. So that's what perspective center is. I want you to follow along with me with a little small drawing. We're going to start by, let's put a vanishing point up here, right? This is on our horizon line, our eye level. We're just going to draw a cube that's floating in this space. Make sure that your horizontals, this line here, is level with the horizon line, and that your verticals straight up and down. See, it's level with the paper. Let's say we'll put it here. This will be the edge. So we have a cube, 1 point perspective. Now, what I want to figure out is, what if I want to put another cutout, another square in perspective in the middle of this, and I want it to be perspectively centered to this top of this box. I'm going to show you how to find that. First off, I want to figure out what is the middle of this. So to do that, I'm going to draw a line from here to here, like that. We're going to go from here to here. Notice I might not get the line perfect on the first try, right? So I'm just pulling light lines. That gives me this center. So this is half, right? Now I want to divide this again. So if I'm going to divide again, instead of going all the way across, I'm going to go from here to here. So like this, like this. That gives me this. I'm going to go straight like that. And that divides this in half. We're going to go here to here. And from here to here. Put a line here. Now, connect this, this, and this, these lines with the vanishing point. Just draw light. If you get some stray marks, not a big deal. Alright. Clean up this line before I move on. Okay, now I want to find the center of the top portion. So we're going to go from this corner to this corner, nice and light. This corner to this corner. Puts the center about here. All right. Going to divide this space. In the same way that we divided this, we're going to divide the top. So from this corner to this corner of this newly established half, everything that I'm showing you, these are all things that you got to know. So it's kind of running in the background when you're drawing from observation. Because if I'm drawing a tabletop, or if I'm drawing, an object that's in 1-point perspective like this from observation, I might not be measuring all this out on my, my larger drawing or painting. But I can use this math to check, to see, like if I look at the painting or drawing and go, wow, man, something's not right, and I can do this and check. It's just like checking your answers in math. All right, from now we're going to go from this corner to this corner. From here to here. Okay, and that gives us this line, this point. So now I'm going to go across this way and across this way. And now we have this thing all blocked out. So if I wanted to put an equidistant square in the middle of this, I have it right here. All right. You can divide and divide and divide and divide and divide and divide and divide over and over and over again. You can also expand out from this using this same simple, this same simple math. All right, so there's a couple artists that I'm gonna put up now. I want you to take a look at over the weekend. I want you to take a look at the work of Evan Summer. Evan Summer. He's a contemporary printmaker, works a lot in perspective, works a lot with line work. Take a look at his work. I just want to show you I just want you to look at some applications of this in fine art. So look at Evan Summer. Look up the work of Pedro Friedberg. Look up Pedro Friedberg. And also look up one of the greatest, MC Escher. Go MC Escher. I'm going to have some images. I'm going to have some images up on the screen for for you. All of these artists work with perspective, and they all work with surrealism in their own way. So check them out. All right, so once you have this, we're going to move on to the next part of this assignment. All right, so you have a new piece of paper. Let's start by putting our vanishing point up here near the top. Draw a horizon line for that. There. And let's draw a line right like this. So when you're following along, see how I have this stray mark out here? Just erase that. When you're following along, just take your time, and if things start getting a little, lines are not completely straight or they're kind of bowing out or bowing in, just take a break and straighten that out. Like I said, I just want you to freehand this. You don't need a rule or anything. I want you to get used to just drawing straight lines, okay? Notice I'm also holding my pencil like this when I'm sketching, and then I'll turn over to this. All right, so that's that. Basically, what we're going to draw is we're going to draw a tile floor that's going to recede into the distance. And what we need to find is the spacing of the tiles, and I'm going to show you some math techniques so you can figure that out and make it look believable. So let's start with our first set of tiles down here. We'll put the edge of the tiles, the edge of the hallway here. All right. So first thing I want to decide is the height of my first tiles, my first row of tiles. I'm going to put it there. I'm not really measuring this out, I'm just looking what visually looks right. Okay, right there. And I don't know, we'll do like 6 tiles. Okay, so I'm going to bring these out maybe like an inch. There, another inch. It means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And I want you to connect these dots with the vanishing point. Keep everything really light. Barely putting any pressure on the paper. You know, you're working in a sketchbook. You know, you just want to get used to going really light because you're sketching. You're not deciding 100% on anything at the beginning. Okay, so I want you to have something like this. So this is the first row of tiles. Now, what we're trying to figure out is these horizontals. How do they proceed into space without them becoming too far apart or too close together? And that's where we're going to use the perspective center, finding the perspective center, to figure out all that math. So I'm going to start from this corner of the first tile, and I'm going to draw a line through here, but I'm going to keep it extending so it crosses over this horizontal, or this diagonal. Okay, so I'm going to take my line, keep it straight. It has to be, you know, nice and straight, and right here where it meets this line, draw a dot, and then you're going to connect. You're going to draw another horizontal line through all of your diagonal lines. And that gives us another row of tiles. But it's also gradually going to get shorter and shorter and shorter over time. This is a little bit shorter than this. Now that we have this line, let's get the next row. So instead of this one, we're going to go up and start from here. Do the same thing. You're going to draw a line from here to this corner, and then you're going to keep going till it hits the next line. And these will be going parallel to each other. So that gives us this, and that gives us the next line. Okay. Now you'll notice this right here is a square in perspective. This is the perspective center. So what we're doing is we're using using a perspective center to get the other corner is basically what we're doing. And then just applying it on. And this could be infinite. All right, we're going to keep that step again. We're going to go up to the next line, this corner. We're going to be cutting through here. That's this line. All right, that gives us this point. You're going to keep repeating until we get to the top up here. Here. So I'm trying to draw with the camera 2 inches from my face, so you have to apologize. I have to apologize for, not being as, precise as I can be because of the situation and the setup, but I can refine the drawing and you can refine your drawing as you work. Okay? I want you to keep that process till we get up to the edge. So now I go here, through here. All right, so now we have all this divided space. Notice how these get closer and closer and closer as they get closer to the horizon line, just like if it was in a natural space. So go ahead and just complete the entire floor. Okay, so that's pretty much the exercise. I just want you to get familiar with drawing light, drawing nice and clean, drawing, just starting to grasp the concepts of one-point perspective and how you can simulate the illusion of distance and depth by knowing some of these simple tricks. Okay, so I want you to have these two drawings in your sketchbook for me on Monday at the beginning of class, and make sure they're nice, well lit, cropped with your camera, not at an angle when you take your photo. And other than that, have a great weekend.